Hey everybody, Jeff Mason with SimpleBiz360 coming to you from our basement again. So we're going to have a great episode today. We hope you're doing well. A lot of crazy stuff going on out there. Thank you, Mason, my grandson, for that great intro. Alex Dietrich back at HQ for stlewispodcast.com. That's who does all this programming. They do a phenomenal job. If you're ever in need of a podcast host company, love them to death, do a great job. So we got a lot of cool guests coming up. So this is going to we're going to end up having the next time you see an episode, it should be a guest. And then we're going to have quite a few more sprinkled in over the next couple months. So getting back to that, but we really wanted to do some focus on some of the conditions that are a result of this pandemic. And one of them today, which we're going to focus on, is really rebuilding. It is the explosion of the entrepreneur, solopreneur, mompreneur. So many different things come into this preneurship, but the entrepreneur is going to explode. Why is that going to happen? With 33 million people who filed for unemployment, you're going to find a lot of them that are not going to get their jobs back, and they're going to go into the marketplace and look to try to compete for jobs. And we try to focus on that in our interview tips and our resume tip videos. But there's just going to be a lot that go, you know what? I've got $30,000, $80,000, $15,000, $25,000. I'm going to go borrow money. I'm going to get a second mortgage on the house, whatever. I'm going to take my stab at starting my own company. And it is going to happen in huge, huge numbers. Every year, from what I can tell, roughly, I mean, I'm no expert on it, but from what I can glean going back to the 2010 census, is we're kind of in a zone where 500,000 companies in the US start every year, and almost 500,000 go out of business. Not the same 500,000, but 500,000 bow out. And they're all different sizes and complexities, and there's different reasons for some of this for sure, but that's how it ends up being. And when you go into this and you launch this high altitude operation, you're in the risk-taking family now. It's a big risk to do it, but many, many people are. I think when it's all said and done, we're going to see probably 1 million, 1.5 million people take a stab at it in a 12-month cycle to try to do their own business. And they're going to leverage it with whatever money they can borrow, find, liquidate, and they're going to try it. And what are they going to try? They're going to take something they're experts at, and they're going to try to do something they're really an expert at. And there's a lot of cool mechanisms out there to help you. This whole storytelling by Donald Miller is a phenomenal book. If you haven't read it, this whole story brand building is, there's a lot of cool stuff going on out there to help you launch and help you get out there and help you learn the social media angles. Marketing Impact Academy, which is one of our affiliates, phenomenal. You want to talk about how to really learn how to do business better. It's a phenomenal lifelong partnership if you hook up with them. And again, you can visit our website or call me or email me, and I can share more about that with you. But we're going to find a lot of people that are going to jump off that ledge and take that shot. And I call it a high altitude operation because you're now in that risk-taking environment. And so one of the things we did when we put together our book a year ago is we focused on that solopreneur. And why did we focus on that? Because there are so many people out there that are doing business on their own, and they don't necessarily have exposure or have not had exposure to best practices. So we're trying to bring some proven best practices to the solopreneur, entrepreneur, mompreneur community in the form of a book. Spent a lot of time putting this together, and we frameworked it in a way that would help you run a business. And what I'm leading up to is going to be very, very important for you to hear. But, when I look at all the business escapades that I've been exposed to and could read up on and could talk to people about and have been involved with, when I really break everything down, Um, the sad reality in a lot of cases, not all of them, but a lot of cases, is companies, small companies, one-person companies go out of business, not because they didn't do a good job at what they did. It's they didn't do a good job at how they did what they did. I'm going to go back to that, Starbucks atmospherics episode we did. Just remember how important that is. What did Starbucks learn in the Big Dig exercise? They learned that they were serving people coffee, not serving coffee to people. It's the people, it's the experience of the Starbucks that was the important thing to focus on. Yeah, the coffee's important for sure. Yeah, whatever you do, whatever your company specializes in, that product or service or group of products or services are important, no question, but it's how you go about doing it. So I'm going to say one thing to you, or two things. The first is right here. You see the 3 why challenge. I I can't tell you how important that is in running a business. If I had to give you 3 pieces of advice for free, and I would ask you 15 years from now, email me back and tell me how this advice worked for you. It is this: respond to every inquiry, 100% of inquiries. Start flexing that muscle now. Get in the habit of responding to people. Get in the habit of following up. But make sure that you put the third yes in there. Say yes to respond to all inquiries, yes to follow up, but yes to follow through. Make sure your promise making is met by promise keeping. That's what that element is all about. And it sounds so trite. That sounds so trite, right? It's not. It's so many people fall on their sword and don't deliver on those 3 whys, and especially the last why. We did a whole episode of what happens when people don't follow through. So if you're going to go out and borrow money and start a company, please grab onto this. Please digest it and consider using it. And we'd love you to buy our book. Now, the book is formatted. If you take a look, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you're going to see our rectangle YouTube video bordered by 8 icons. And those icons, if you're going to look, if you're going to look up to, you're looking at me and you're looking at my left. I'm getting dyslexic here. You're looking to, you're the viewer left, which is my right. You're going to see expectations up in the corner, that logo. Okay, so that expectations is one of the chapters that we've focused on, and we've put together a whole chapter devoted to what that is about. And these 8 icons represent what we consider to be the 8 most important business drawers that are going to lead to success for you. So we've kind of simplified everything down and put them neatly into these 8 drawers. The next you're going to see is core. The next you're going to see is customer. The next you're going to see is procedure on the left. So you're going to see those 4 icons. Those are 4 of the icons from the book. On the right, you're going to see service. On the other side, you're going to see service, you're going to see communication, you're going to see money, and you're going to see improvement. And that's the order in which they'd appear down to bottom. Those are the 8 icons. Those are the 8 chapters. Those are the 8 things we focus on in our book as we've nestled everything in there. Now, the secret sauce, which is the last statement here in our book, is the silent business killer. And rather than explain it in this interview, or this podcast, I've got a podcast on this, but I want you to buy the book, $18.95. It's right here on Amazon. You can buy it on our website, SimpleBiz360, Simple Business Tools, Timeless Business Tools. It is packed with 255 timeless business tools that are focused on those 8 chapters, but they are centered around a concept called the silent business killer. In a nutshell, 26 out of 27 people who have a bad experience with you will never report it. All right? 91% of those people will never come back to your company. So you won't hear about it. These people will disappear. They'll never repurchase from your company. A large majority of those people affected and upset will tell 9 to 10 colleagues, and 13% of those malcontents will tell 20 or more people. So you have a lot of arrows being shot at your company. You have a lot of damage being done to your company that you're unable to hear or witness or understand. But what are they doing? They're basically leaving your company. They become a lost customer because most cases, what you didn't do or how you did what you did, it wasn't the product or service you provided. Now, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's how you go about doing it. If you don't respond to emails, if you never follow through, right? I wanted to give a testimonial for these wall canvases I bought, but I can't. Why? Because I ordered 5 of them. The one order, my 5th piece that I ordered, no one will respond to me on email about the order. I ordered it. I got a confirmation it was ordered. It's been charged. I can't even get an answer as to where it was. And one of my pieces that they produced in poor fashion. Now, they were nice enough to respond to that and send me a replacement that cut into their margins because they had to reproduce it and resend it at their cost. But they were nice enough to send that to me. It delayed me a little bit, but I've got a 5th order in and no one's home. I can't call the people because it's through an online provider. There's no phone number. I can't find a phone number. I got to email them and no one's getting back to me. So, just that's what a lot of companies do. And you have to understand that. And so we set up a simplified way to go about business that avoids the silent business killer. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to say that this, always being a naysayer is being negative Nelly. No, it's real. You've got to understand that other voices in the training and in the business development community aren't really chatting about this. I don't think because a lot of them don't know about it. I ran into this from a TARP study in the mid 80s, and I was floored at what I read, and I've never let it go. I've learned more about it every year since the late 80s when I bumped into it. And it's part of my book, The Silent Business Killer. Buy the book, you'll learn about it. It's going to help you as a small company survive and be one of those survivors out there. It's an exciting road you're taking. I'm so happy you're doing it. I love nothing more than to be an entrepreneur and solopreneur myself. It's given me the greatest pleasure of my business career. And gosh, I'm in awe that you're out there in groves doing it. So we want to help you protect yourself. Give us a try. Follow our podcast. Please subscribe. We give you the opportunity on YouTube and all the listening channels to subscribe. And you can go to my website and just hit subscribe or go straight to YouTube. You got a little icon on this. If you're watching it right now, this podcast, you got a little pinwheel icon on the screen. You just hover over that and boom, hit subscribe. So we're having some fun, and hopefully we're not boring. I'm trying to keep it, within a reasonable time frame. So, at any rate. That's a little bit about, we love the rebuilding that's going to happen. We hate the fact that it's happening because of the pandemic, but hey, out of this is going to come a lot of cool companies. So we wish you all the best in that. And so lost in the track shuffle today. Well, because there's a lot of transformation going on, I too have gone through transformation in my life, spiritual transformation. I came to know Jesus 31 years ago, and it was a big life-changing event for me, helped me for sure, got me over the hump with my alcohol addiction. And without knowing God, I wouldn't have been able to beat that addiction, I don't think. So any rate, a Jersey band that, again, once you research this band, it's got so many connectivities to, it's going back to that Jersey Shore sound. It's just crazy. But there was a Christian band that popped up, and a guy named Steve Pash out of North Plainfield, New Jersey. He was doing a lot of cool rock and roll stuff down at the Jersey Shore, and him and 2 other high school buddies came out to form a band called Three Crosses, and they put out a number of different Christian albums. They disbanded, I think, in 2000, somewhere around there, but some really cool stuff. And, because I went through a transformation myself, when I heard this song, and when I hear it to this day, it makes me shiver, brings chills up and down my spine. But it's called Maggie's Prayer, and it is slide guitar, phenomenal slide guitar work on this. Just a cool song. So enjoy Three Crosses, Maggie's Prayer, and Guys, again, take a look at our affiliates. Go to simplebiz360.com/affiliates. Get to know some of the folks that latch on and support this program, and we support them, and we want you to buy their products. It's all products that help you as the solopreneur, help you as the remote biz person who's working out of their house. And, we want you to be able to benefit from it from a cost point of view, and also to just join with us in using these companies. So keep the shiny side up if you're out traveling. Hold on to your profitability. Keep your customers coming back by pleasing them. Make sure they come back for more. That's the whole art of this deal. And I think the next episode will be a interview. And who knows? I think we're going to go back to Studio A, which will be the big studio pretty soon. So hopefully we'll see you. We'll see you soon from Studio A. All right. Thanks so much, folks. Have a great week, and God bless you.